Hi guys, we are back again with Kicking Cancer Cares, and our sponsor for this second half is Marianne McNally, who's a residential real estate specialist with Next Home Realty Connection. So if you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, just not sure where to start, or even if it's in your cards, definitely give her a call. She's your go-to girl, and there's no silly, stupid question. She loves more than anything to educate her clients or potential clients. No pressure at all. And her phone number is 503-409-4389.
And I think we mentioned this before with her cancer coming back. She had gotten sick and she wasn't sure what it was. Mm-hmm. They ruled out COVID, they ruled out RSV, they ruled out all the big ones.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So she has a viral infection, viral bacteria. So she's just tired, right? Just tired.
Yeah.
And we were going to meet this last week, and she says, well, I'm meeting with a potential client from 10 to 12. So even with her cancer the third time, even tired, mm-hmm. she still went into her office to meet a potential client.
Mm-hmm. And she's told us that she actually enjoys doing that no matter what's going on in her world, because it keeps her focused, it keeps her busy, and it's what fills her cup. It's what makes her happy, is getting people into a new beautiful home or helping you sell your home and taking the stress away from that. And that's just one of those things that fills her cup. I love tending to my children. It helps fill my cup. That's something she loves to do. So just because she has cancer and she's in her battle does not make her any less of a person when it comes to what she does amazingly.
Well, when I first met Marianne, I was working with the baseball league to help get first pitches. So I have this wonderful picture of Marianne throwing out a first pitch, and her hair's about your length. Mm-hmm. And then when the cancer came the second time, unfortunately, the chemo, she lost her hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, this is a wonderful hat that you guys do, and I love what this hat says. Can you read it, Amanda?
So you're going to show how blind I am.
I'll let Allison read what it says.
Don't do that to me.
It says, temporarily bald, permanently beautiful.
I love that.
Permanently bald. But I'm wearing this because...
And you're beautiful, Perry.
Thank you.
Look at you just glowing over there.
But I remember when Marianne went through that treatment and she lost all of her hair, and she sported hats and scarves, and she found plenty of ways to now her hair's back.
Yes, it is.
So I'm going to wear this hat for her, and I'm going to wear my pink shirt for her.
There you go.
So I did want to say on the hats, we have some at our location. So if anyone is going through a breast cancer diagnosis or a gynecological diagnosis, we would be more than happy to send you one of these hats.
Which is a really good segue. There's a reason why there's two colors.
Okay.
And she's got some little wristbands, if anyone wants the wristbands.
Oh, yes, because breast cancer's pink.
Breast cancer's pink.
Yep.
But this is teal.
Right.
Because...
What's the story?
The teal is ovarian cancer. And so one of our key volunteers that we had at Breast Friends was an ovarian cancer. And so she also had breast cancer, but ovarian cancer came later. And she, really had it in her heart to say, to tell Becky and Sharon, can you support this cancer too? Because it's a woman's cancer. And so they said yes. So, that's why we have the teal and the pink.
I love that.
On that. When you do get a cancer diagnosis, it doesn't matter what cancer it is. You still have those fears. You still have those unknowns. So, we're here for all of them.
Letting the women know that you see them and you're here for them.
Right.
I love that.
Right.
So they're supporting, and again, breast is probably the more predominant that you support.
Yes.
But there are still women that get the gynecological cancers.
Absolutely.
And teals that know what support. So I've got the teal up here and the pink down here and the wristband. And
all right, look at you. I love that.
Well, I know that we kind of ran out of time in that first half, and there's at least one or two other things that you guys are doing at Breast Friends. I see the flyer here I love this one. It's called Do You Know Your Lemons?
Do you?
You want to describe what this is, Allison?
Yes, our Know Your Lemons program we are in partnership with a global organization called Know Your Lemons Foundation, and they're in 69 different countries.
Oh, wow.
So we reached out to them and wanted to bring this breast health education to our community because early detection saves lives. So the more you know about your body, the more knowledge you have, and you can get treated sooner. So the staff, we're trained lemonistas is what we're called.
Lemonistas, is that a great name?
And so we go into the community and share about the importance of breast health exams. There's 12 signs and symptoms of breast
Okay.
cancer.
I'll hold this for the camera.
And so it's not just a lump. It could be your breast is enlarged. It's has a thickening in the area. You have nipple discharge. It's red and hot. So it's those type of symptoms that you need to go get checked out and go to your provider. So we provide this education free to businesses, to service groups, to clubs, just really getting the word out. There's a free app called Know Your Lemons app, and it will send you monthly reminders on when to do your self-checks.
Okay. I'm one of those people that thought it was just a lump that you would be looking for. So you've already taught me something new.
Yeah, not just a lump.
And all of a sudden, I just dawned on me that there's one guy and 3 women, and we are talking about lemons.
But to be fair, breast cancer does not discriminate just against
To be
women.
fair, yes.
Right, it does not. Yes, it does not. And as a man, you have chest, you have a chest, you have breast tissue,
Yep.
and there is cancer in men. It's 1 in 833 men will be diagnosed with breast cancer. And so it's important for men to do that breast health check as well.
And I'm glad you bring that up, because when we hear breast cancer, it's just really easy as a society to go, oh, women. But breast is an area of the body.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. There's a breast tissue. I have breast tissue.
Yeah.
It's just not what we think of when we say breast. So this is really great that you're bringing awareness to the fact that, man, we told a story months back about this guy in Montana, older guy in his 80s, and ignored it to the point that there was a quarter-size hole that had eaten through his skin. Because, he's an old rancher in Montana. There's no way he's got breast cancer. But he did. And his kids showed up. And I remember his daughter lives in Corvallis, and he's got a white shirt. He's an older gentleman, wears a white shirt. And then we give him a hug, and there's this big, huge stain right here, because he ignored it so long, it ate a quarter-size hole in his chest.
Man.
So men,
I remember that story.
Men, you have a breast.
Get
it's
checked
part
as
of your
well.
body.
Yeah.
Like, this is really good stuff.
And speaking of men, we have another program called our HUG program, which is a financial assistance program, and we give a gas card or a food card to help those who may need it. And one of those people that we supported a couple of months ago was a man. He actually lives in the Albany area, and he reached out. He needed, this card to get him through, and so we were able to give that to him.
That's awesome.
And he was married, he was scared, and so we
Terrifying.
were there, to help calm some of his fears.
I almost feel like men take medical stuff a lot worse than women as well.
Right.
And then when you get diagnosed with breast cancer as a man, that can have a lot of emotion,
Yes.
more so than on top of your getting diagnosed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome. I'm really glad that you also helped men, and that he had the nerve to reach out, or
the courage.
The courage, not the nerve. Yes, the courage to reach out and get that help.
Mm-hmm.
Because men have breasts too, and they definitely get breast cancer.
Right.
Well, like you said, it's a region of the body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like I don't have a chest area. That's your breast.
Yeah.
But just, it's the connotation when you say breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So there's one other event that you guys do, and I was so honored to be invited to this. This will be the 3rd year I get to come to it. The first year I went, Sharon Hannafin had moved, and Allison made me aware of the fact that she was coming back for this event. And I had one of those climb the bank for Becky shirts.
Okay.
So I had to find Sharon to give it to her, right? But it's your annual luncheon, right? Describe how this started and what you guys do at the luncheon.
Yeah, the annual luncheon started, I believe it was in this is our 14th year. So in 2010, Becky and Sharon had this idea of having the luncheon where it honors the breast cancer community, remembering those who have lost their fight, and then honoring our survivors, our thrivers, and fighters. And so it's a day event. This year it's at the Embassy Suites, Washington Square in Tigard. and it's on October the 26th. From 9 to 2, and it's just a wonderful opportunity to get together. We have 2 educational workshops in the beginning from 9 to 11. One will be on dealing with challenges in life, and that can be for caregivers, that can be for patients as well. And then the other segment workshop that we're doing is on survivorship, talking about how to care for yourself from a naturopathic side. And so we have actually it's called the Cancer Pod. They're a cancer podcast, and they're the 2, I think it's Leah and Tara, they're going to be leading that survivorship group. But we have a day, we have vendors, we have community awards, we have a keynote speaker. Our keynote speaker this year is one of our participants who leads our Hermiston Tri-Cities area, that's always a hard one to say, support group. And she's an author, she's a breast cancer survivor, so she'll be our keynote speaker. Mary Ann is actually going to be our survivor speaker.
Oh, cool.
She's going to share her story with the audience. Barron's going to be there as a vendor and coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's also, there's some happy tears that happen as well. It's very emotional.
I was going to say it's probably a lot of emotion, good and bad.
Toward the end of the event.
Can I share that, or is that a surprise you don't want to talk about?
Oh, no, you can share.
Well, it was so impactful for me the first time I went because I showed up with Robin. We had a vendor table. Pathways was finally rolled out, so we're talking about Pathways with these ladies. And then we head over for the luncheon. And I didn't know I knew I was going for lunch. I didn't know what I was coming for, right? And the speaker started, and it was motivational, it was inspiring. But right towards the end...
Hang in there.
Yeah, I'll make it... It's what you guys do. They invite.
We invite those who are diagnosed 1 year or less up on the stage. We have them turn their backs, and then we dim the lights, and then we ask those who are 1 year out, 1 to 5 is as a survivor. We have these candles, and everybody lights their candle, and the whole room is filled, with light. And then we ask those who are up on stage to turn around, and we say, "This is what hope looks like," and it gives them hope that what they're going through, that they will get to the other side. And so it's very emotional, and I don't think there's a dry eye in the house.
Room?
Yeah.
I remember last year, because you guys do like 1 to 5 years and 5 to 10, and of course I'm there with Robin, so Robin stands up because she's a survivor. And then I think the longest last year was 43 years.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
And they just keep going, right?
Yeah.
Until there's nobody standing. But there's this, I think it's just like one table over me, but there's this beautiful lady. She's in her 70s at some point, but I'm like 43 years. Mm-hmm. And then I thought, all these ladies that are on the stand, and of course you're up there, but all these women up on the stand, they have their backs turned, but they haven't even yet reached the 1 year mark.
Yeah.
And that provides hope.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And hope across the board, whether you have cancer, whether you don't, whether you've got difficulties at home. Hope is what keeps us going. And if we can see that light and that hope, we keep moving forward. So I think that's phenomenal that you put it in perspective like that for those ladies that are so new into their journey, because they do need that hope, and they need to thrive to keep going and to better themselves and just continue that journey.
Yeah.
Right. Being a part of a community of those who understand, of women who have been there, and to come alongside them and hold their hand and comfort them.
And your London's gotten really big.
It has, yeah. We're at a new location this year, so we're sort of tight on vendor space this year, but I think it's still going to be a wonderful event. It's $40 a person. come out. If money is a concern and you can't attend, please call. We do have scholarships available.
Okay. I saw your flyer that Barron had passed to me when you were talking about it. There's a number to text to register, which makes it extremely easy. So if you guys just text BF Luncheon to 41444, you can get registered that way, which makes it really easy. So BF, as in breast friends, luncheon to 41444. And then, or if you guys just want to email me, amanda@kslm.news, I can give you all of this information that's on this card and pass along that information to get you guys registered.
Yeah. Well, there's
That's phenomenal.
Something that occurred to me after going to watch this is, it's a phrase I've started using in some of the presentations I've been making here in town. Hope is not a plan.
No.
But it's our goal at Kicking Cancer, along with collaborations with breast cancer, that we want to provide you hope with a plan.
Yes.
Like, hope is not a plan, but
it sure is fuel.
yeah, but we want to provide you hope and give you a plan.
Yeah.
So a lot of Mickey Miser's go-to teams, that's part of your plan.
Yes.
This Know Your Lemons, that's part of the plan. So now you have hope with a plan.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm trying to create, is this collaboration.
Absolutely.
Well, I know we've got some time, Allison. Do you want to share your own personal breast cancer story?
Yes, I would love to. As I had mentioned earlier, I am a 19-year breast cancer survivor.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed when we lived in Connecticut. Now, you may hear an accent.
A little East Coast coming through.
Well, no, not East Coast. I grew up in Texas, so my Texas accent.
That's not
comes out.
Connecticut, I'm hearing.
No. And then my husband and I moved to Connecticut, and we lived there for 13 years. In 2004, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I had two sons. They were 3 and 4 when I was diagnosed. And so, when I heard those words, I was, just shocked because unfortunately, they didn't find my cancer on a mammogram or an ultrasound. It was sort of an unknown. I felt something there, but it didn't show up on the diagnostics. And so I said, I want it out. I don't need it. I don't want this thing to keep growing. And so when they biopsied it, took it out, did a lumpectomy, they found that it was cancer.
Wow.
And I can still remember today, my husband said, do you want me to go with you? I said, no, it'll be fine. And I had my boys with me. It was his birthday, November 2nd, 2004. And went into the doctor's office, and my boys were in the waiting room, being toddlers. They were probably all over the place, but I had to leave them there. And when I sat into the doctor's office, he said, "You have cancer." Oh. And I said, "What? How can that be? None of the imaging showed." And he goes, "Well, we are shocked too, but you do have cancer." And it's early stage, and we'll take care of it. But again, having 2 young boys, I didn't know, will I see them graduate college? Right. Will I see them, do all the things? Mm-hmm. And on top of that, my husband, what's he going to do? How's he going to be a single dad raising the boys? So again, very traumatic. It was stage 2. Lobular, invasive lobular cancer. And so I had 8 rounds of chemotherapy with 32 rounds of radiation.
32 rounds.
Yeah, 32 rounds. So that's 32, going to radiation 32 times.
Can you tell the listeners what's the lobular? What does that mean?
Lobular is more of a stringy type of a cancer. It's not like a solid tumor.
Because Brenda has invasive ductal carcinoma.
Right.
So it's invaded the ductal region.
Right. And lobular is more of the lobes. So it's going to be harder to find, especially if you have dense breasts, because it just looks like fat.
Interesting.
And it looks, stringy rather than a solid tumor.
And is that why they couldn't detect it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it just looked like it was just the fatty tissue.
And thank goodness you recognized that something wasn't right and advocated for yourself.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Right. Right. Yeah, definitely.
That's scary.
Had great medical team in Connecticut, great, support from friends and family, but I didn't have another woman to talk to. I, was the first person in my group of friends who had been diagnosed with breast cancer. So it's like, okay, what do I do?
Yeah.
And so, just put one foot in front of the other and, got through it, was on a 5-year maintenance drug for because it was hormone positive. So my cancer was being fed by my hormones.
Okay.
And so I also ended up having my ovaries removed to take care of the estrogen from there. But I have had a clean bill of health for 19 years.
Yay!
And
That's
then,
exciting.
as I mentioned, found Breast Friends when we moved here in 2012, found them in 2013, really wanting to give back. My boys were in middle school, and so that's how I, where I am today. I can't believe, that was not my intention of coming here to this beautiful state and running an organization. I rely on a lot of my faith to get me through. There are tough times, especially during COVID, where we had to shut everything down. We had to pivot. How are we going to still support women as they're going through cancer? And we, did virtual programming, and we still do virtual programming. We have virtual support groups as well as in person. So, just being able to really look to see what the community needs are.
Yeah, because you were one of those people in the community that didn't have that.
Right.
Personally.
Right.
So that's awesome
Right.
that you get to ensure and give back to make sure that women aren't in that position.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And so Breast Friends is here. If anybody wants to learn more about Breast Friends, they could.
And then, how would the listeners get a hold of Breast Friends? What would be the easiest way to get a hold of you guys?
Easiest way is just to go to our website, breastfriends.org, and click on there's a link for more information, or they can email us at mail, M-A-I-L, at breastfriends.org. That's the easiest way.
Okay, perfect. And if you guys didn't catch that, of course, just shoot me an email, amanda@kslm.news, and I can get you over the website and her email information.
Well, in our last few minutes, it is always interesting how timeline items line up.
Yes.
We've been doing this show for about 2.5 years.
Always
and
God moments.
Always God moments. I'm just trying to walk the listeners through things that have happened with Kicking Cancer. And sometimes a guest can't make one time, so we have to reschedule. But the timeline doesn't change, right? And so it's interesting how the timeline item for today actually matches up with Allison being here.
Oh, funny. Okay, let's hear it.
Well, in the timeline, it's January 23rd, 2022, which was our honoring evening that year. Except I wanted our evening to be a little bit nicer, so we hired Stephanie Bob to be our event planner.
Yeah.
And you have met Stephanie. Well, after we did that honoring evening, that was our third one, after we did that honoring evening, she did a wonderful job of changing this room into like this Italian theme. But then I went to their event. And now our honoring evening is like a really bigger deal.
Yes, absolutely.
So it was really what you guys do at your luncheon that inspired me to take our evening and make it even a nicer deal.
Yeah.
But within the timeline, it was our third honoring evening that
Okay.
Stephanie Bob, we brought her on. We found a grant to pay her. We, if you're going to make it nice, you got to pay someone to do it.
Yeah.
But you need somebody to pay for that stuff. And so we went and found a grant to pay Stephanie Bob. And this coming year's honoring evening, I can announce it now, for the 2024 year, it will be March the 1st of 2025.
Okay.
And last year,
Took it out of February.
we did. We got tired of dealing with the weather. We had to
Fair
postpone or cancel. So we're going to have it March the 1st. But again, kind of playing off what Allison's been doing, ours was always just kind of this quaint little chance for the honorees to meet the board.
Yeah.
We're going to open to the public this year.
That's exciting.
And for $40, you
Yeah.
can come.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, I'd love to come to that, Baron.
We will get you an invitation, and we're going to waive the $40 for you.
It is the only event my husband will attend.
Well, that is interesting, too. And I know last year's event made quite an impact on him.
Oh, boy. Yeah, he changed a lot of his habits. I think what got him the most was when they were honoring the ones that had passed, that they were young.
Yeah.
And that hit him close to home because he was like, it's not an older person thing. It's not a middle-aged person thing. It's an everybody thing.
Yeah, we do a video at the end, and we call it Face of Kicking Cancer for that particular year. And anyone who passes, we show the picture. Well, Ozzy passed. Okay, so Ozzy's 4. But of the other 4 that passed, they were all in their 40s.
Yeah.
And that hit your husband really hard.
Oh, yeah. Since that day, he no longer drinks Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
He gave up Red Bulls.
Wow.
So it actually changed his world in a positive way. It definitely impacted him.
Well, I think he realized his own mortality when he saw those people dying.
Right, yeah. Exactly.
So that was it. That was our...
So really quick, I just want to say again, on October 9th, this coming Wednesday at the Lancaster Red Robin, all day long, if you go in and mention Kicking Cancer, and that's why you're there, then 20% of your bill will go back to give to Kicking Cancer, to then go to Marianne McNally, who is our sponsor for this second half. So I would love for you guys to show up and support her as she has shown up.
Let's just blow the doors off Red Robin.
Please, let's show out and show up for her. And she's Marianne McNally, who is Next Home Realty Connection. So if you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, or just not really sure where to start, give her a call at 503-409-4389. And we will be back next week
as the movement continues.